You know, when you hear a guy who won a Super Bowl and did all the State Farm commercials say something like this, a lot of people believe it. A lot of delusional people honestly believe I am meeting up with Tom Hanks and Oprah at Shakey's once a week to eat pizza and drink the blood of children. And I believe I am meeting up with Tom Hanks and Oprah at Shakey's once a week to eat pizza and drink the blood of children.
This is the United Uprising channel. Welcome to today's show. You heard it out of Jimmy Kimmel's own mouth. But of course, I'm not saying anything in this video that these people aren't saying and revealing themselves. So I want to make it clear, I'm not bullying or harassing any of these celebrities. I'm just going to show you a compilation of their clips. And it seems like a lot of these people like to mention pizza because it's a delicious food, of course. That's why they're always taking pictures with pizza, having national stories in People magazine about pizza parties, you know, because we're not supposed to be suspicious of it. We're supposed to just nod our head, drool, and say, oh, cool, look at the celebrities. And Jimmy Kimmel, of course, is now working the latest psyop that they're trying to work, which is to make people look in the wrong direction, to look at something that's clearly staged and set up, because the whole leak is clearly part of a bigger plan to bring about not just censorship, but to normalize this type of thing, because as they mention names on lists and all this type of stuff, nothing will ever occur. Nothing will happen to those people, like I've mentioned in previous videos. They will not be arrested, and the more that they talk about it, the more it'll be normalized, right? And there you see in your intro here, this latest psyop that they're doing with Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, which I'm going to show you in a second, a compilation of clips that'll just sum up Jimmy Kimmel and sum up all these topics that these people continue to bring attention to, because when they bring comedy into the forefront with these types of topics, it desensitizes the audience. You'll actually hear some of these clips, the laugh track on, and all these people out there see the big sign above their heads that says laugh, and they'll laugh, and they don't even know what they're laughing at or realize what they're laughing at, but the joke isn't on them. They're really the butt of the joke, the people in the audience who are laughing, the people at home who are laughing, because these people are getting away with the most atrocious crimes you could possibly imagine. So Jimmy Kimmel, let me start here, the clip you just saw, is bringing attention to this list. He's bringing attention to Aaron Rodgers. And of course, this is something that the government is gaslighting into the mainstream. Aaron Rodgers, the football player, who I've covered in the past, has connections to the occult, because they all do, has connections to witchcraft, dating witches, and of course, this looming issue that lingers over him, where he's been, his Christian family and him no longer speak because of some of the acts and things he's gotten involved in Hollywood. So all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that Aaron Rodgers is the face of truth. Aaron Rodgers is the face of conspiracy, because they're normalizing conspiracy theories. They're normalizing them, and they're attaching it to people like this so they could lead you down the wrong direction. They're getting people out there to put their eggs and their hope in a lot of these celebrities who are gatekeeping them. That's all that this is. So the story goes with that list that came out that Aaron Rodgers had made references and innuendos to Jimmy Kimmel being on the list. Now, it's very clear that Jimmy Kimmel is involved in all this stuff, because Jimmy Kimmel wouldn't be famous if he wasn't involved. It's as simple as that. You don't need lists to determine these things. They're all in on it, all of them. And all one really has to do is listen between the lines, like I'll show you here, because they're always referencing it. They're always referencing these acts, these satanic acts. They're making a mockery of these things. They're talking about them over and over and over again repetitively, which of course is the key to mind control, making you laugh at these types of topics, making it seem like it's out of the realm of possibility, and then bringing attention, to, oh, I'm having dinner with Oprah and Tom Hanks. We're having pizza because they love pizza, and we're drinking the blood of children. They always love to joke about that, but if you actually look at real history, there is a lot of stories in the past that are continued today. The difference is that in today's society, everyone's so dumb they don't realize that there's truth in it, that a certain group of people were always going after the blood of children, liking to drink them, liking to drink the blood, liking to eat it. I can't go into more detail here. I can on the website. I've covered it. It's called the libel. And there's a word that goes in front of it. But if I say it, I'll get labeled something that I'm not, because the whole label of calling yourself anti-you-know-what or being called that is make-believe, because you'd have to be those specific people first to be able to be called anti-se, because it's all make-believe, because they're actually not even the people they claim to be. So Jimmy Kimmel brings attention to those things over and over and over again. Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel are going back and forth in the media. Jimmy Kimmel's getting said that his name is on a list when it's not on the list. It's been revealed. So Jimmy Kimmel's threatening with lawsuits. He's saying, I'm going to sue Aaron Rodgers for bringing attention to this, saying that I'm in this, back and forth. And that's what this is all about, really. About what's slander, what you can and cannot say, who you can and cannot accuse, et cetera, et cetera. It brings about more censorship. It brings about more laws and rules in place to protect these people who are performing these acts. Now, let me show you a compilation of clips here, including, these are all things I've covered in the past. Of course, some of you might not know that I'm new to YouTube, wink, wink, or the opposite. But I've been talking about Jimmy Kimmel from the Snuggle Me or the Snuggle, the teddy bear doing child sacrifice, to some of the clips I put in here, including Metallica, having a little thing with Satan and children, to them all singing about going to hell and selling their souls to the devil. Of course, I've gotten a strike for bullying Kristen Bell in that video, but nonetheless, here's a compilation of clips, and keep in mind even Lady Barfbag going on a show to talk about worshiping Lucifer, and Jim Carrey at the end here, which is an important clip because this is exactly what's going on. Jim Carrey talks exactly truth, because Jim Carrey was once the high priest in Los Angeles for the underground Satanists, not the Satanic Temple, but the real true Luciferians. And Jim Carrey comes on national TV. Of course, it makes a mockery of conspiracies, all-seeing tongues, and him. And the joke again, you'll hear the laugh box. The audience doesn't have a clue what they're even talking about. And what they're really doing is making a mockery of the audience and all the human beings at home that actually worship these people and allow them to get away with these things because of their social status. Because to them, they're the true idols in this world, the ones they worship, so they could do no wrong in their eyes. So here's a compilation of clips. It's all a giant conspiracy, yet these people just constantly talk about these topics and then try to make you laugh about these topics to make it seem like it's out of the realm of possibility that they'd actually be involved in these topics.
Snuggle the fabric softener bear. Remember Snuggle Bear from the old commercials? Do you remember Snuggle Bear from the commercials, Guillermo?
Yes, Jimmy, of course, from the commercial.
Snuggle Bear was big. In 1986, it was like Snuggle Bear and Mr. T were the hot couple. In case you're too young to have seen Snuggles, or maybe you just don't remember, this is the bear that captured America's hearts and laundry in the year 1986.
Once upon a time, fabric softeners cost a lot, but now there's new Snuggle fabric softener.
Hi, I'm Snuggles. Snuggly softness that's really less expensive. Look, I get towels fluffy, blankets cuddly, even shirts caked with blood. It was an accident. You know what else is soft? Human flesh. Baby flesh. Wait, where is your baby? In snuggly softness, so innocent, so defenseless. The perfect size for a sacrifice. Shh, time to meet your snuggly death. When the dryer's going, they'll never hear you scream. The Dark Lord shall be pleased with me. Snuggle brand fabric softener, proudly made. It's to die for.
Now all they had to do was decide what kind of music to play. They met their new friend, Satan.
Hiya, friends, I'm Satan. You'll be rich and famous and do lots of candy. You'll do lots of candy. Metal's a cool music that uses electricity.
Hey, I have a question. Has anyone here ever actually been to hell?
Absolutely.
Everyone?
Of course, yeah.
Why did you all go there?
Well, Jimmy, hell is where our agents make our deals with the devil.
We're going to hell. We're going
Do you record while the bus is moving, or does it have to come to a stop before
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't want to, and they're, Gaga, we can't get, the frequency's weird, and, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, I get a little bit mad.
Is that a gang sign?
Well, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea. You don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it. The all-mocking tongue.
Oh.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. People on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. Out there in the woods in a circle, naked, and they decide these things. They're trying to turn us into, consumer drones of some sort. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
So there's a bunch of clips right there talking about going to hell, referencing Satan and children, referencing children and sacrifice. I mean, how much stuff do you need to see to actually, start saying, hey, there's a pattern here, right? There's a pattern. See, this is what I get killed for by these algorithms all the time, is when I show you the repetition in the pattern. That's the key to it all. When you start seeing it put together in pieces, right? It snaps you out of the mind control because you say, there's a pattern here. This isn't just brought up sporadically. They're constantly bringing up. They're constantly bringing attention to it. They're constantly trying to make you laugh at these topics and then, condition you into thinking that these are all crazy oh man, they're in the woods doing what? Dictating the world, right? Referencing Bohemian Grove. Oh, these are all crazy. But if you actually see them constantly talk about it, you say, maybe there's something to it. They're bringing attention to it a lot. And if it was completely insane talk, why would they bring attention to it? Because the common person out there doesn't know Bohemian Grove. They don't know the all-seeing eye, even though it's on the back of the dollar bill. They don't know anything, right? They're doing it because they're worried that you're going to wake up and find people like me to help you wake up, to help you actually open your eyes, to lift the veil from your eyes. So they have these in place to constantly build a wall in your mind because this humor and bringing attention to it puts a wall in place. So if you didn't know any of this stuff and you stumbled upon my channel, you'd say, well, this might be interesting. There might be something to it. But as you'll see with the common person who laughs and dismisses all of us, this type of stuff you see on Jimmy Kimmel programs them without them ever having to go further than just hearing of these notions and then laughing and dismissing it. That's why they bring attention to it. It puts a wall up in their mind. So in addition to those things, let me show you a couple other clips of Jimmy Kimmel. Of course, you tie those things in with Satanism, the occult, the stuff we talked about early on with drinking, that red liquid and, loving pizza. And then, of course, we see just repetition of Jimmy Kimmel constantly doing these things when it comes to dating children, children's dating apps, Baby Bachelor, which I showed you. I'll show you another clip of that if you didn't see my previous video. These are things that they're showing you right before our eyes, right? Jimmy Kimmel on national television for the last decade has been doing nothing, which I've covered before the outbreak, pushing potions in people's bodies. He was pushing it before the outbreak, telling you if you had to prevent the flu, you needed to do this. And anyone out there that talked against that was a crazy conspiracy theorist. I've been covering this for a decade now, these people and the stuff that they do. He's been pushing global warming, right? He's pushing all the key ingredients of global enslavement because that's what he is. And if you don't even want to look at these things, all you have to do is look at the talent of these people. They don't have any. Jimmy Kimmel couldn't. I could remove all the things that I already think about these people and just look at them from an objective standpoint. There's nobody that actually finds Jimmy Kimmel funny. There's no jokes. There's never any. He's not entertaining or funny. He's a CIA agent. They're all agents. They're put in these positions to, you think they're funny, and they're programming you through humor to desensitize you to the real things that are actually going on. So they create an inverted perception in your mind. When they joke about these things, they're all conspiracy theories, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's brain is being programmed to dismiss these things automatically. So that's what he does. So all the topics he's talked about, including constantly, just like his buddy Marilyn Manson, who I recently put a clip in, of course, these Tinder dating apps for kids, they constantly are referencing it. Nobody's suspicious. Here's a pattern of young children being put in adult scenarios as dating and all this other stuff, and nobody realizes what they're subliminally doing here, but it's not so subliminal if you're actually paying attention.
We've developed a new dating app to help kids connect. Hello there.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name is Liliana. I'm 5 years old.
How old are you?
4.5.
Do you have a girlfriend for your birthday? You don't. Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
His name is Wiggly.
Wiggly. All right. Have you ever heard of Tinder?
No.
You've not? What you do is you look at pictures. You do is you swipe right if you like them. You swipe left if you're not interested. That's Isla. I love my mommy and my daddy and my baby sister, she said.
No.
What do you think of this kid? Mason. He says, I can say the alphabet and tie my shoes.
I like him.
You like him? Okay, very good. Eva.
No.
Kelsey.
No.
Elisa?
No.
Liliana.
Yes.
Oh, really? All right, great. What about this kid with a bow tie?
I like him.
Well, let's like him. It's a match.
What do you have for breakfast today? Hey, what are you doing?
Sure is real.
Whoa!
And it's for the two of you to enjoy together. Oh, this is very romantic. Season premiere of Baby Bachelor in Paradise. First, there was the Baby Bachelor.
Hi, I'm Wesley, the baby bachelor.
Then the Baby Bachelorette.
I think my husband is in that limo.
And now we bring you
Welcome to paradise!
Baby Bachelor in Paradise.
Almost paradise. We're knocking on heaven's door. Almost paradise. How could we ask for more? I swear that I can see forever in your eyes. Paradise. I was a bad boy. But I'm here to be a good boy. Alex is so cute. I make bad decisions.
New arrival Maisie promises to bring the drama.
I'm Maisie and I'm crazy. I'm your bad boy. I know, leave me.
Maisie doesn't waste any time.
Hey, what's your name? Brendan. I'm Daisy.
Scare you to be in love, or are you just scared of her?
I'm just scared of.
You're just scared of her. Brendan, do you keep a lot of secrets?
No.
Brendan, do you have a child? This season, which babies will run off into the sunset and which will run home to mommy? Will Brendan wet himself when his estranged wife Charlie shows up?
Surprise, surprise.
So in addition, of course, you have all these kids, in addition to the video clips I showed you earlier with all the satanic stuff, you have the elements of them constantly adulting kids, right? And that's Jimmy Kimmel. That's what they all are in a nutshell. They're telling you and showing you this stuff. They're programming you. They're programmers. They're not entertainers, okay? You heard Jim Carrey, in that clip. And what's Jim Carrey talking about? Keep you entertained, keep you doxed out, keep you distracted. That's exactly the truth. It's 100% the truth of what they actually do. They go on TV, they jump up and down and act like buffoons, but they make sure they bring attention to these topics to make you think that these topics are a big joke, right? Oh, the comedy people are making jokes about it. It's got to be true, right? You don't even realize you're subliminally being programmed while the laugh box is on to make you automatically laugh and dismiss. And again, another thing when you're at home, when you're in the audience, you see the laugh box, right? You ever seen those? I'm sure you're all familiar. Studio shows have laugh boxes. It tells the audience when to laugh. That's part of programming, right? And they're like, oh, we just do that, so that, it looks better on TV. It'd be weird if everyone wasn't laughing. So they're telling them how to laugh and what to laugh at. The people at home might not have a laugh box in their living room, but they don't realize subconsciously by listening to a crowd laugh at this stuff, it's programming them. They're automatically, even if they're not laughing in their living room, they're being programmed to laugh at those topics. It's nothing more than a massive mind control operation. Even going back to the first clip, bringing up Oprah, Tom Hanks. This is how they start desensitizing people and normalizing this stuff, because those are two of the biggest celebrities that there are. Tom Hanks and Oprah, okay? These people out there are not going to turn their backs on those two. They worship them. And those two are so large up on the scale of being famous that they can have their names on the list and it will not affect them. That's why Tom Hanks and Oprah are being released. Jimmy Kimmel can't have his name on the list. Number one, because it helps gaslight the MAGA Republicans who can't stand Jimmy Kimmel for obvious reasons. One being he's not funny. Two being that he could go on TV in blackface and do all this stuff and tell people if you don't get a magic potion, you deserve to die. So, gaslighting these people to hate him, and they should, because the guy is obviously a criminal and should be arrested for crimes against humanity. He should be arrested for national grooming, amongst many other things, right? And another thing that drives him nuts is the fact that he goes in blackface and does all this stuff, and then he, points a finger at conservatives. This is all stuff that they're doing by design, making people go rules for me, not for thee, etc., or rules for thee, not for me, the whole mindset. So Kimmel is, not going to have his name dragged into this for obvious reasons. He's one of their best programmers, believe it or not. You could look at him and you could say, who is being programmed? This guy is not funny. He's not. But he pushes every single agenda that they want him to push. He constantly goes out there and somehow it works on some of these people. right? The late night talk show hosts are some of the most important groomers to them that there are out there, because they need the people to see the comedy aspect of it. If a guy goes on, if there's an interview with just throw a celebrity out there, with Robert De Niro, it's not going to garner as much mind control programming on the audience. It's not going to have that much of an effect versus these late night talk show hosts, because they're there to entertain. The comedy aspect of it, it subconsciously affects your subconscious mind, right? So Kimmel's not going to get dragged into it because they need him. Hanks and Oprah, they'll always have a need, and they're not on TV every day, so that people are just going to forget about the stuff, just like everyone's already forgotten about Oprah and Maui. You don't even hear it mentioned anymore. Oprah was just at the Golden Globes. Oprah's name could come on a list and nobody says boo. Sure, there's some alt-right people screaming and crying, but nothing gets done. The mainstream media is not going to cover it. They're not going to have a trial for any of these people. And that's how they normalize this stuff. So Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers are bringing attention to it for obvious reasons, right? What you can and cannot say, what's slander and what's not. So they start normalizing these things, right, by bringing attention to these lists, publicizing these lists, which is all part of the PSYOP. And again, all of these people are involved in this stuff. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying this operation that's being leaked to you is done by design. This is how they work. They put celebrities up there at the front of this stuff so that you jump on the coattails of these celebrities like Aaron Rodgers, like Tucker Carlson, acting as if they're going to be the ones of truth, the beacons of hope, because they don't want you to rise up on your own against them. They don't want the civilians to. So the civilians put all their hope in these celebrities that they're going to fight the establishment for them, and they're not. They're in it with them, just like Trump is, right? So the main thing with Kimmel and Aaron Rodgers is to bring about more censorship, to make people afraid to even talk about these topics, because I'm probably going to even get a strike just for talking about it, just from showing you the clips. It's what always happens to me, amongst other things, right? We all seen, for people out there, I don't know, a lot of you probably knew. I don't even think a lot of the old people who used to listen to me are even around anymore, because they don't know where to find me anymore, right? We had a big movement going. A lot of people were waking up, and they keep cutting it off. So that being said, please make sure you sub to my backup channel now if you haven't yet, and consider joining the website, uprisingrevival.com. I'm not sure, I'm going to continue to try to fight as hard as I can, but there's only so much I could do. It feels like the wind has been sucked out of my sail at this point, but I'm going to continue showing you guys this stuff. You have to understand the psychological aspect of this. It's more important to understand the psychological aspect than anything else in this world, because then you start realizing you're being played, you're being worked around the clock, right? These things that make, it's like some people see stuff, they're like, that's the fake news, they're doing this or that. And then at the same time, these other stories come out on the news, like this island, and they're like, that's actual truth. It's like, it's all fake. You get it? Yes, these people are all involved in that stuff, but they're gaslighting you. They're working you. They're leading you down a rabbit hole. They're doing a bunch of psychological things to you without you even realizing it. And you got to realize that they're doing these things for so many reasons. They're psychologically doing these things to you to condition you, to normalize, to eventually put more laws and restrictions in place against you. And of course, to prevent the people from actually rising up against it, making you think that the truth's coming out. Oh, I'll keep waiting. There's going to be more. They're going to investigate the DOJ. They're going to bring this to trial. They're going to bring this in front of the Senate. They're going to bring it in front of the House. And it goes on and on and on. Nothing gets resolved. And that's the point, right? Just like the stuff with Hunter Biden's laptop and all these other stupid psyops they bring up to you. You would never hear about it unless they wanted you to hear about it. That's the point. And they wouldn't bring attention to it on national TV like Jimmy Kimmel unless they wanted to bring attention to it. They want you to know about it for a reason, because they're using it against you psychologically. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. Hope this video helped. God bless all of you as always and your families.